Hi Stephen. First of all, just check team news, and I've got a couple of questions. That's good.
Yes, Ryan Jack's a doubt for tomorrow's game. We won't know on Ryan till later on today whether he's available or not. Zungu will be missing as well. We're hoping to have him back in a week, 10 days time. He's not got a big issue, but unfortunately he's not available for us tomorrow, and the rest is as it was from the weekend, basically.
We saw from the results on Friday night how important the Europa League is to the club's financial picture. Does that underline the importance of continued progression in the competition this year, just given the COVID challenges? And secondly, given the losses reported by the club, what does it say about the backing that the board and Douglas Parker are making, that they're willing to sort of keep putting in money, and yet they rejected the bids for Alfredo Morelos over the summer?
Yeah, I think the board support has been fantastic. Since the first day I came in, really. In terms of the numbers, I think obviously you'd have to take certain things into consideration in terms of the time, and they could have looked very much different if we did accept a bid for one of our big assets. I think the important thing to know is this team's in much better shape than it was when we came through the door. The team's littered now with big assets. The team's worth an awful lot of money now compared to what it was. But this is the time of the year when the numbers come out. In terms of the first part of your question, Europe's always important for a club like Rangers because of the history, because of the big European nights that have gone before. For the supporters, it's what they enjoy doing, watching the team in Europe, travelling near and far to follow the team. So from a football point of view, there's always a responsibility and an expectation here as the Rangers manager to continue to do well year on year. And if that means that we make more money or we go further in competitions and it helps from a financial point of view, that's great, and that will always be the aim. But first and foremost, it's to reward our fantastic support with trips around Europe to follow the team. The board and myself were on the same page. We're happy where the team's at the moment, but we both know that there's still a lot of work to do to get where we want to get to.
Stephen, Benfica tomorrow night have got more issues with players going to be out. How much attention do you pay to that, particularly at the moment when Rangers are performing so well and so full of confidence?
Yeah, I think the main focus is always us and Rangers, and the majority of the preparation for any challenge we have is mainly focused on us. We obviously have to pay attention to what's happening elsewhere because we need to know possible teams and who we could be facing from a personnel point of view and what type of team or formation we think we could be facing. But as I say, very much the focus is on my team and trying to prepare us in the best possible way.
Morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Last time out in Portugal, your team obviously put in a great performance. Later on, obviously, they conceded a couple of goals, but are you sensing that there's a sort of a determination in the squad to try and get over the line, looking after what happened a couple of weeks ago?
I can definitely feel a determination in the group and in the team, but I've felt that since the first day we reported back. I wouldn't describe our performance in Portugal as great. I think there was periods of the game that was great. I think obviously there was big things, big positives to take from the game, but also big learning opportunities as well. It's a game that we've looked at in good detail of where we went right, where we went wrong, and we need to try and use that experience going into this 90 minutes. A lot's being said of Benfica in terms of what they've got available and what they haven't, but one thing's for sure, the 11 starters that they pick will be a real big challenge for us come tomorrow night.
Hi Stephen, how much does the momentum you've built in Europe, particularly this season, breed confidence, and with each good result do you now feel that the next one's more achievable?
Winning games and going on unbeaten runs definitely breeds confidence and belief in the group. I think looking into tomorrow's game as well, I think the players have experienced playing against these players in this team not so long ago, and we've shown that certainly for big parts of the game, that we could match Benfica and certainly compete. So this is a game that the players are very much looking forward to. We have major respect for these individually and collectively as a group, Benfica. You're talking about high level players, high level club, and a manager with big experience. So we expect a very, very tough game tomorrow, but a game that we're really looking forward to and excited about. And we couldn't be going in a better place, really, if you think about the run of games we've been on.
This is a game in which would normally be full at Ibrox and a big atmosphere. In England, we see there's now a pathway about getting fans back. Ross County Rangers, if things stay the same, will have a limited number of fans. What's your message now to the authorities to try and find a pathway in Scotland to try and get fans back?
I haven't got a message. I think I leave the authorities to do what they do. They're the people that make the big decisions, and we follow the rules and the guidelines. I certainly welcome the news breaking down in England about getting supporters back. I think it's a big step, and it's nice and positive that we can see some movement down there. And the players are craving the fans back. I'm no different, and hopefully, when it's safe to do so, we can start building them numbers up and we can get back to normality. But I'm not in a position to give messages out to the government or the people that make the big decisions.
With this, a huge amount of games that are coming up over the next few weeks, what are the key things for you as a coaching staff to look out for to manage the team through it?
I think, I know we use this term a lot, but it is a case of taking each game as it comes, because things can change. There's no point planning too far ahead, with the COVID situation, with the amount and volume of games in terms of people picking niggles up and not being available. So it's very difficult to look too far ahead than the next game. My job over the course of the season is to try and keep the players in the right physical and mental shape for the challenges that are coming. That's the reason why we've been trying to use the squad in the most positive way, so that we can try and keep the consistency levels as positive as we can for as long as we can.
Morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Watching Rangers this season, there's a great strength and depth to the squad. Everyone knows the rules, but beyond that, Stephen, how do you feel you've improved things behind the scenes?
Well, I think it's an ongoing thing, what we're trying to do. Obviously, the priority is always the team and the squad. I think that's been a process over the last couple of years of trying to build and try and get a squad that's capable of competing on all fronts. That's been the biggest challenge. That doesn't stop. Behind the scenes, we're still actively looking for, in the recruitment department, to keep improving personnel of the squad. We're still overseeing the academy to keep making it better down there as well. And behind that, or alongside that, we're trying to make the training ground and the stadium better, fresher, up to date. So it's a constant thing to try and keep improving the club in all departments, really. And it's fantastic to have Ross's support in all them areas. And more importantly, above us is the board as well. Going back to the first question at the press conference, the dialogue and the communication and the togetherness on trying to keep improving this club for the supporters is ongoing.